What up, gamers? Spencer here, and welcome back to my reaction to the Theorizer's Pixar Mega Theory. So last time we watched the two Incredibles 2 theories, and now we're going to move on to one very long video, which is the most believable Pixar theory ever posted. I think one of you guys told me that he did change the title every now and then, and yeah, this is what it is right now, which, yeah, it'll be just one video, which, by the way, I just saw the views right now, 1.3 million views. Which the other ones, they're around a half of that. The Syndrome got 1 million views. That's very impressive. But this one, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be more of a special video because the other ones don't even compare. Wow. Okay, I'm looking forward to this. I never realized just how possibly big this video might be. So like I said, just one video for this reaction video, but the future ones, they seem to be on the shorter side, like multiple of them. So I do plan to divide things up from there. But yeah, let's go and see this Theorizer video, which if you haven't done so, make sure to go and check out his channel. Very good videos from him overall. But here we go, man. The most believable Pixar theory ever posted. Here we go.
The second I laid eyes on this character, I felt the overwhelming urge to hate him. He's just, I don't know how to put it. For 6 months now, I've been attacking him on social media.
That
I
monster?
made some bold claims intended to be slanderous about how he's an evolved form of the Spanish flu, how he's an anomalous Atlantic mime, and how he's the gastropod godfather, whatever that means. People have understandably accused me of losing it. If you still don't remember, Baby Smitty
I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like, with Emma Jean, I'm sure he can make any character feel very important, especially for these theory videos, so I'm sure he has his reasons for picking on this little blue guy.
that little blue slug that wanders around with the preschool during the events of Monsters, Inc., and then bites Mike Wazowski's hand for no damn reason. Yes, this character with 30 seconds of screen time has earned my profound hatred. I can just feel that something's going on here. His name is, yes, literally, Baby Smitty, and it's presumably because there's already...
Yeah, one of you guys told me that the title of this video before, the title before was the Baby Smitty theory. I think something like that.
Another slug character named Smitty. He's the door shredder guy.
Oh, what?
This is the first clue that something's going on here. They could have named this child anything they wanted, but instead they named him Baby Smitty so as to relate him back to the older Smitty.
Okay. I never knew that. I guess I never knew about that slug guy, the adult one, his name. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of the names of some of the other characters other than Mike and Sully. And I guess Randall too. I feel like those are the main three that I mainly remember from. But yeah, Baby Smitty and Smitty. I never realized they were related.
That blue slugs likely turn more green as they get older, and it means there's some fascinating continuity going on beneath the surface. In fact, all of the kids in this preschool seem to be related back to the other older monsters we've seen. There's a whole world out there beyond the immediate events of the film. Let me elaborate. I have reason to believe that there is yet another Smitty hiding somewhere out there, an adolescent Smitty, dare I say. When Mike and Sully leave their apartment, we see some kids playing jump rope, and sitting right there on the steps is yet another blue slug with 4 arms. He's holding a soccer ball, and he says hi to them. With all of this in mind, I could easily believe
he has
bigger
eyes.
Where the Smitty family lives, and in the window we see a giant eyeball. Perhaps this is the head of the Smitty family, and it's kind of disturbing that they get so big. It is an interesting comparison to make, though, because in
like how now he has some
HD
HD photos now. I just realized that now.
Who fits similar descriptions. This is the scary part. The Smitty family is well aware of Mike and Sully. The door shredder Smitty is a super fan, and Baby Smitty is freaking terrifying. They live right next door. Not only that, but Smitty shreds doors on Mike and Sully's own scare floor, which displays how they're always close behind them. This scare floor is a very critical location. It's the nexus of multiversal travel, and Boo's bedroom is already a very important part of my infinite Mobius Matryoshka theory. When
I remember him talking about
on the scene,
that.
His job is to get rid of any unfit scare candidates, perhaps kids who are too jaded, too old, so on and so forth. I believe most of the Smitty family is indeed employed here, each with their own role to play, and then there's the baby of the bunch. I want to be clear that I have reason to believe all of this because of the fact that this isn't just some random field trip Baby Smitty's on. He's there every day. This is a daycare at the facility. I spotted this
Mm,
teacher in the company ad,
I
and
don't remember
multiple
that.
spots on the bonus disc confirm
I
all
didn't
of
realize
this
that was the
too.
daycare.
I could tell all of this, and it just kept getting confirmed, but it's
I mean, yeah,
important
from my memory, I thought it was more of a school field trip, but it's been a while since I last watched it. Monsters Inc.
because it all around proves that they're all here all day, every day. Baby Smitty is a suspicious, pernicious, vicious thing, but I'm still not sure how. So I kept thinking and thinking, and then everything clicked. And this is about to get unlike anything you've ever seen before. After uploading the Matryoshka video, I received comments from so many people asking how the giraffe fits in. Yes,
The
the
giraffe.
giraffe. The bonus disc is filled to the brim with detail, more than any other bonus
Okay,
disc I've
I
ever
probably
laid eyes
did not
upon, and
see
it's
this
all
in
for a
the
very particular
normal
reason.
movie.
A while back, YouTuber Edache scanned this disc as well and was
I
severely
don't know what
put
giraffe
off
he's
by
talking about.
the giraffe. Rented a whole theater just to zoom in his screen and confirm its existence. The YouTuber's personal understanding was that Pixar was just messing around for technical reasons, but something nobody has realized is that
Hmm.
this is one of the missing pieces to my theory. What is the giraffe, you ask? Well, it's the two-dimensional height chart in Boo's bedroom.
Oh,
It's suddenly missing in one shot, and then
what
it
the heck?
reappears. It's eerie because this thing apparently moves on its own accord. No,
That's weird.
not apparently. It does. Because the crazy part is that it can, in fact, be seen waddling along behind Mike and Sully, following them to work. That is utterly creepy.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you can see maybe the shape kind of matches up with the neck, and it's looking on the right side. I feel like it's too much of a silhouette to really make it match.
Even creepier is the fact that if you really hunt on the bonus disc, there's another deleted
Oh, here we
animation
go.
guest where we see the
Here we go. This is, I think, maybe better evidence.
giraffe sneaking in and out of Boo's bedroom.
Because yeah, like that one silhouette, like that's really hard to tell. This one feels like maybe it does look like it does match up more with this giraffe.
You might be inclined to dismiss this. I'm not. How can this thing possibly move? What is it? How could this even work? It would have to make a sneaky beeline for the door at the moment where it needs to disappear, but it didn't take me long to realize. It does. At the exact moment in question, Boo leans up and points at her door. Sully assumes she's referring to the monster scaring her, but in fact, she's talking about the stealth giraffe that just ran through and replaced itself. This still sounds insane and ridiculous at face value, but luckily, it's just the missing piece I've been looking for.
I don't know. I can definitely see it.
So is it some sort of monster?
If you just assume that it's
The
alive.
answer is no. It's been a fixture of Boo's bedroom for quite some time.
Like if
and
it's
this
been
seems to be
gone,
the two worlds
I guess I need to
colliding.
see the timeline of events here, where it was like there, and then maybe that when Boo pointed, the next time we see this wall, is it we just see it gone. If it goes like that with that timeline, I guess it works.
With full force. You'll see what I mean. Have you heard of the Mans and the Mons? It's a neat little story on the bonus disc detailing how monsters and humans lived in harmony until the humans bullied the monsters' ugliness so bad that they had to flee to an enchanted island. There, they ate the food,
Wow.
which made them scarier, and they began to spook humans out of revenge.
Is this actually like official Monsters lore? Some Monsters Inc. lore? I have never knew about this.
They continue the tradition to this very day. This story upends a lot. I've constantly been saying that the doors go back in time, but that seems to be a falsehood. They constantly refer to them as the human world and the monster world. This also fits perfectly with the idea of nested realities, not time periods. I've been thinking over this little short for quite some time, and it seems to be a sort of bedtime story being told to younger generations. It's vague and seems to be somewhat metaphorical, what with enchanted islands, and so I've thought, and thought, and thought, and felt like maybe it was a portal to a hidden world, perhaps underground or something. So I scanned that bonus disc again, and the answer hit me hard. I
Okay.
recall seeing an advertisement from the Monstropolis travel agency advertising a
The
trip
Bermuda
to
Triangle, oh no.
Triangle. I believe the enchanted island is actually through a portal at the core of the Bermuda Triangle.
I can maybe see that. I've heard stories about the Bermuda Triangle. Like I think mainly back then, like when people go there, they experience some weird things. I don't know if I'm like remember this correctly, or maybe I don't know if it's like true or not, but I remember just seeing something about like some pilot going to the Bermuda Triangle, and like when he went there, he like entered this like vortex, like a wind tunnel or something. Which I guess, in a way, it kind of acts like a portal or something. But yeah, I'm sure they're taking inspiration from that.
which is why this world's food made them scarier. How
Stuff
could a
like the
random
weirdness in
travel agency get
the
clearance to
triangle.
send civilians to the human world unless it doesn't require portals at all because it's right outside the barriers of this hidden city, just outside of humanity's reach? The cancelled original sequel was even going to be called Lost in Scaradise. They
Mm. I remember hearing about this sequel. I think I watched a video about it one time, like before, I guess, like where I forgot the specifics, but I did remember watching like a canceled sequel to this, but I forgot like the details about it.
banish monsters to the Himalayas because of how far it is from the entrance. This sequel did, however, imply time dilation, and mixing that with the eastern seaboard repetition
Oh yeah, no wait, no, now I remember. I think I had to deal with like I think how people see monsters. That's what I heard about before, but I kind of forgot all the specifics.
the nighttime scarability in the
It's
sitcom
like people don't maybe believe in monsters, so they don't see it. So like I think at some point Boo didn't like believe in monsters, so she can't like see the monsters. I forgot it was something like that about a canceled sequel. But I think for me, this might be my first time hearing about a Lost in Scaradise, unless that's the one I was talking about just now.
we've all mentioned, I do believe there is no time travel. The Mans and the Mons confirms it. It's a sort of propaganda, presumably by someone like Waternoose. It also fully confirms hostility between monsters and humans. In the Himalayas,
Okay.
we see a village where we catch a glimpse of how scaring looks from the human side. Lights constantly flashing, kids constantly screaming, villages in uproar. Hold on. How would the human world not realize something fishy is going on? The human government must know that this is happening. It can't not be that way, based on the history and the statistics. How can Mike and Sully traumatize adults at camp and just get away with it? How can they banish unruly monsters to the human world with such ease?
I'm not sure.
Oh, oh, oh.
Is this going to loop back to Smitty? Baby Smitty?
It's simple, really. It's not that it's easy. It's that they've already been caught. It's happening. You feel it? It's like a chill in the air. The puzzle. I did it. Oh, I
Okay, let's hear
did
it, man.
The humans, they know. It's all a trap. Okay, so Boo's
a trap.
bedroom is the nexus of multiversal overlap. It's
Oh,
the
here we go
central
again.
focal point. I hinted
These
at this
two.
in the Twisted Nest video. It's at the forefront of BNL's universal merge. It's the gateway between worlds, containing the layers below it in the form of toys. It's a crucial moment of overlap. But up until this point, I assumed it was all just a byproduct of the situation, reality bending in on itself. But don't you see? Don't you understand? It's on purpose. This is all fake. It's all a setup, a lie.
Fake?
This isn't Boo's bedroom because there is no Boo's bedroom. This is a test. It's a facility. This is all BNL. The
What?
entire bedroom is an experiment by BNL.
Oh, snap. Now that he mentions BNL, like, didn't he before say that? I don't know. I guess like something like BNL or something where like they make I guess like the movies of Nemo in Toy Story. Ooh, I can see this. Yeah, if we're going through the idea of like them already being caught or like they're like, already knowing about these monsters, like any like big like government or corporation, I can maybe see this.
monitored 24/7 to study the monsters so they can take over their world. They
Dang.
want Monstropolis because
I think that's really good. I think I do like this idea.
it's the motherlode, the nexus of the multiverse.
I can definitely see
Portals
this.
galore. All of their multiversal products are scattered amidst this fake room, all designed to catch the monsters.
Wait, that's assuming
The
this is a
giraffe
fake room for
not
real.
A monster. It is BNL's modus operandi. It is robotic. The giraffe is the equivalent of a robotic animal inconspicuously recording nature footage. Wait a second. No, I'm not crazy. I heard that. This is familiar. Where do I know this from?
Because It could let in a draft?
When I was younger,
What?
I
Whoa.
always thought I heard giraffe, never draft. I'm not alone in this. I've seen others online who heard this too. I bet this is purposeful. If you don't believe me, just take a look at the wall right behind him,
Oh,
because
this is so
holy
weird.
shit, there are literally giraffes right there.
Yeah, it's a weird. Yeah, now that he's talking about giraffes, like more and more here, like I just feel like there's definitely something weird now about the giraffes.
And get this, a toy giraffe angled perfectly as an inconspicuous camera. They're trying
Dang.
to tell us this was all a setup. It is complete and utter recon. The bedroom is
Oh, Ed. Yeah, let's continue, man.
a B&L Venus flytrap. Do you have
I didn't realize these
any
giraffes were
idea
like
how
spies.
much this changes? It means Boo was supposed to be captured. They put this child there for the sole purpose of getting snatched so they could send in the giraffe or any other spyware. Remember, we've established in the previous video that Boo has been scream extracted many times. This is how she knew to open the secret door, and it's also why she's, strangely enough, comfortable around Waternoose at first. Randall keeps going
Wow.
back for her, and even mentions how she needs to take off a few pounds. This is how the giraffe was already in their world when the film began.
Yeah, looking back at this, I can, start to maybe see that this is maybe a thing. But I don't know. The thing is, it's just the silhouette is so like it could just be like any random monster in Monsters Inc. Maybe if this was like back in the human world, maybe I would think about that because I don't think a human would look like that. Like it could be like Randall, you know. This could just be Randall.
And I mean, let's take a closer look at this supposed bedroom. First,
But I'm now like 50-50 on it. Before I was like maybe 0% on that picture, but I think now I'm just 50-50.
the brightness of this moonlight is impossible.
I can see it
It'd
go
have to
either
be more
way.
like a street lamp, but it's angled in such a way that it would mean she'd need to be close to it. I don't hear any cars, only faint crickets and a subtle humming. A humming you
I guess one more thing too. I guess I need to know the context of that scene that we just saw with the silhouette because I don't know what that scene is supposed to be about.
say, like an industrial spotlight? Maybe. I would also like to highlight that this nursery mobile tilts slightly the instant we see it, even though this bedroom was completely empty. I do believe this is because there were people in this room mere seconds before Sully returned Boo. They set the stage, as it were. Randall and Waternoose were playing right into B&L's hands. This is why Boo has no parents looking for her. The entire time she's gone, there are people watching this whole thing.
Man.
Not even at the end, when she returns and is screaming and laughing, does anyone step in. Not a peep. All right, brace yourselves. This is about to go up to 11. How do you think B&L is accomplishing this? Yes, it would seem as though they've
I don't know.
kidnapped a little girl and forced her to walk worlds. If this truly is the Incredibles universe, then could it really be true that she's a superhero? Could it be? How else?
Whoa.
She's full of energy that can power
Imagine
worlds.
that.
She's used as a lure. She can be scream extracted over and over again, and for f***'s sake, she literally teleports around. This is complete insanity.
That is true.
Something's still not adding up. I know B&L has the ability to kidnap supers, that's not an issue, but something is just not clicking here. There's more to this story. Oh. Oh.
Are you okay there, Theorizer?
I'm so sorry. I don't know how to prepare you for this.
Oh snap! What happened? The robot? What does that mean?
They were telling us the whole time. Can't you see what I've been saying? The whole film is bombarding us with it. They even do it again in the climax itself. One question. Why would it just be the giraffe? B&L is a company run and owned by robots.
I don't understand.
Why would they stop there? Wouldn't all of the toys here, these Matryoshka Centrals themselves, be spyware too? The technology
Okay.
in the Incredibles world is so powerful that I've claimed Mirage is a robot. Do you see now? The giraffe isn't the only one being sent through. Boo is too! She teleports around, she has no parents, she's filled with energy, everyone calls her
So
an
she's a
it.
spy
She
too?
speaks like a machine learning algorithm squealing, kitty, all over the place. She gives him tons of spyware as a last-ditch recon op, and when she falls asleep, she just shuts down. This child is not a child at all. Case in point, the cereal. She eats it repeatedly and doesn't die. Why would I be so insane to think that? Because I've read the ingredients. I don't know about you, but I've never heard of an ordinary human being who can eat uranium, mercury,
What?
neurotoxins, and sulfuric acid. She physically can't be a human.
All right, that's probably the. I mean, to me, like, I was a bit iffy on this. If that's really the cereal that she is eating right now, maybe this is it's a bit sus that she can
She mimics one perfectly, like Mirage, ever the
yeah.
puppet with string.
Like I know he was going into the whole Mirage thing. Okay, I can maybe see that now. With I guess the cereal, I don't know, for me was the one that really convinced me, just because if it's all with all these weird ingredients,
BNL has been aware of the monster world for ages now, spying, prying, planning a takeover of
if
the
she can
world
like withstand
without
all those
energy as they use the
weird
same child
ingredients, then
targeting algorithm that the monsters
I
themselves
feel like there's
use.
something
The
going
end of
on.
the film is far, far darker this way. No wonder Smitty is shredding so many dead doors indeed. So this whole film was a plot staged
Okay.
by BNL to gain access to the
So are we
master
going back to the
reality
Smitties
so they
now?
could collapse all of the layers.
I feel like we went
How
from
deep
like
does this
Smitty
go?
to Giraffe
Well,
and now back to
firstly,
Smitty.
thanks to my commenters, the ultimate proof can be found in Cars.
Right, I remember this.
Oh, that abominable snowplow.
So this is unequivocal proof of films within films. But there's something else
Yeah.
here to mention, and like A113 in the Pizza Planet truck, it's another symbolic representation of the states of these universes. The Chinese food boxes. This brand is located in every single universe except Monsters Inc., where it's slightly off. This is because BNL owns fast food chains, but again, they've failed to assimilate Monstropolis. There is nexus upon nexus upon nexus as they try to break reality, and this restaurant is a nexus, hence Marlin literally
Wait.
being on the wall.
I just
BNL
realized
is
that fish
trying
now.
to ram through these realities with a vengeance. Who are they? What are they? Oh dear. Oh
boy, here he goes again, man.
satisfaction. It's obvious. They're the humans who remember the monsters, the war. They remember the parallel worlds. That's how they've done all this. But here comes the true bombshell. Here comes the mindfuck to end all mindfucks. Mirage, the syndrome theories. He's tied in. He's creating increasingly human robots. It's all a part of the same thing. Remember, he did all of this for the government. I told you they were shady, even back in the days where I had a text-to-speech narrating my videos. The Incredibles government
I guess I don't remember him using that. I'm trying to think back. I just mainly remember him speaking for the most part.
syndicate from their theories has direct ties to Syndrome from his theories, and they are building and funding massive quantities of artificial intelligence to consume the multiverse. You see, this government that suppressed supers and rules the world is BNL. I'm in a state of shock. I'm in a state of panic. It all makes sense. Oh!
The Mons swam and swam.
The narrator of The Mans and the Mons. It should sound familiar
Oh,
because it's
snap.
Agent Rick Dicker himself. They remembered the war. This isn't a story for monster children. It's for humans who are being inducted into their little cult. Little propaganda, little cartoons. Oh, now it makes sense why they targeted Winston and Evelyn Dever. It was their link to the telecommunications industry. They want to air their preemptive Matryoshka Buzz Lightyear shows, sure, but don't you see what's happening here? BNL is airing violence to children so they can
Oh, yeah, there's like a lot to take in. So sorry if I don't like understand everything, but yeah, from like what I just learned like within like the past couple of minutes, pretty much BNL is the one behind like I guess doing setting up this like fake room for Boo, which Boo is I guess made from the same technology as like Mirage back in The Incredibles, but yeah, she's pretty much a spy, and she not only is the giraffe like the only like I guess spy gadget, but also like with Jesse and Nemo, we saw like even Boo like give the toys to the toys to Sully. But yeah, it does sound way more now suspicious now now that we have this context of like it being a spy. Then yeah, also like BNL is also like like the man from the Mans and Mons, so like they remember like that whole thing. Yeah, overall, if I understand everything correctly, it does sound very, very interesting. I do like this theory a lot. I think it's one of the better, like, I guess, crossover theories. For me, I feel like looking back at like the Emma Jean theory, for me, like, I feel like that's it could be like on the iffy side. This one feels like a lot better for me, in my opinion. But yeah, let's keep on going.
Sensitize them. This is what we see causes all of the dead doors. BNL is the true cause of the power crisis. Robbing the energy led to Waternoose seeking out the greatest source, which was Boo's bedroom, the trap. Syndrome is a prime example of this violent fanboy youth. I've solved it. This is why The Incredibles is so violent. I bet the government created superheroes to fight violence publicly and have children enjoy it. I mean, if it were poetic, they'd harvest the genes of monsters, which could be why they have owl creatures and stuff. It should be abundantly clear what I'm saying. BNL is the National Supers Agency, the NSA. They have secret ocean bases to try and pinpoint the Bermuda Triangle. And Rick Dicker even vacations to one, just like the monsters. I'm shaking, internally and externally. But wait, there's more. Because speaking of three-letter acronyms, the CDA is a crucial factor here too. A child-protecting team of monsters led by Roz after she quit being a scarer, at least according to my theories. But I do believe Waternoose and Roz aren't as clueless about all of this as one might think. Waternoose says she's seen too much, implying bad ramifications, and then babbles about how everyone's doomed as he's carried off, and it's because he knows something. His family created the portals after all. Something's fishy, and I'm not just talking about this Bermuda crustacean. The CDA sees Mike and Sully's apartment light up, but they let it slide, even though it's a sure sign of Boo. I mean, everyone's suspicious here. See their theories for more on that. Remember when Roz confronted Mike and Sully in the university and said she'd always be watching them? Why? They did nothing wrong except get on BNL's radar. I wonder how many kids are decoys adding to the crisis. Perhaps Roz has a counter giraffe she sent through, which is why she let Boo escape to begin with. All of her employees are yellow. She could have spotted it waddling out, and of course, even the news guy, who wink wink is another close A113 misprint, uses telecommunication to say he's always watching them. They are targets after being seen by human adults, and I don't think it's any coincidence that Boo smiled as she smashed their telecommunications device. But before I wrap around to Baby Smitty, I need to reach the holy
Coming back to this.
Pixar theorizing, which I found after months of analyzing. You can probably feel it. We're building to one massive key that will answer everything related to BNL and Pixar itself. I hope you've seen everything I've ever said about them. So should I state the obvious?
I've been following the playlist. Hopefully that's good enough.
Seem like robots. They are so realistic it isn't even funny. It took mental gymnastics, but also common sense for me to reach said conclusion, but there are certain things that robots notoriously cannot replicate, certain autonomy and emotion and willpower. Recently we got a movie named Soul, which focused on this most elusive factor, the difference between man and machine. Boo isn't
I've watched
just
this
a
one
machine
too.
learning algorithm going around repeating kitty. She knows what kitties are, and she draws them on her wall as if she's learning about them with a purpose. Is she artificial or a human? I also need to try and figure out how Cars ties into this, because evidently it does, but don't
You know what? I guess that's true. He's gonna make a tie in somehow because of that whole Monsters Inc. thing that we saw with the monster trucks. Okay. I mean, I love Cars. I can't wait for him to talk about this because it's my favorite Pixar series. But yeah, I can't wait to get to that part.
even get me started on what these things are supposed to be. Are they artificial? Human-like, though? I still need to bring Wall-E into this, but I can't for the life of me figure out how robots fall in love.
What the heck? What is this jump scare?
Right. I was right. I said it years ago, and I was right. The toys are possessed. BNL is using souls to power their machines. Oh, that's the key. That's the truth. They've been trying to tell us for decades. It's right there. They trick you into thinking this robot is actually a child, and then they make the movie about robots who are human who fall in love. Wall-E and Eve. They even joke in Monsters Inc. about children's souls possessing a garbage cube. Sound familiar? And BNL's cars are living proof of an unholy merge. Human machines. This is BNL's endgame, full corporate control. We even catch a glimpse of Mike's new car, which literally tries killing any monsters inside of it. Chomp. Don't you see how much sense this makes? Please
Okay.
understand.
What was that? Did I see the Incredibles car?
Killing any monsters inside of it. Chomp.
The NSA also made it Mr. Incredible's car. I mean, yeah, that is true. Like, I guess it feels kind of true in a way where like with Mr. Incredible's car, it does have like this whole like I guess like this whole Siri thing going on with it. That could be a soul and not like an AI. So I'm just wondering if now with all the AI he's been talking about, like with Mirage and stuff, and I guess now Boo, I'm just wondering if he's now implying that I guess all the AI, whether it's like, something simple as like a card here or maybe more on I guess the Mirage side of things where they're a bit more realistic, if like they actually have souls and they're not really made by like machine. All right, here we go.
Don't you see how much sense this makes? Please understand. This is why 22 was so hesitant to head to Earth. Everyone is being brainwashed into obsession, which we see drains their souls, ready to be harvested by BNL. She finally has a fun experience with Joe and a cat, then proceeds to birth into this. Kitty.
Wait, what?
Kitty.
Okay. I don't remember much about that Soul movie. I do remember about like, that guy, the main character trying to like, I think guide that one soul to somewhere. That's pretty much all I remember about the movie.
Kitty.
But I
Don't
guess
you
it's the
see?
be reborn into Boo
22
now.
could very damn well be Boo. Emotion is the link to the soul. When kids turn inside out and display mass amounts of emotion, their soul is vulnerable, and the monsters feed upon it. Randall's Scream Extractor rips the souls out of children. They are energetic. They wanted Boo because 22 is inherently already loose. This is the same film that has Joe Gardner's score, like some sort of Matryoshka-linked jazzy fever dream. Waternoose stops it with evil. Roz stops it with heroism. This brings me to the most critical of all points, the toys. Many are BNL products, such as Buzz Lightyear. Many act as soul funnels for children's imaginations, which I already determined also greatly helped power Monstropolis. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm getting at? For years, I said Andy's ancestors helped watch over him in the form of toys. Now I have proof that this can be the case. The first film feels like two dads fighting over a son. The birth dad, the stepdad. Woody has no memory from beyond a very specific point in his past, and he watches over Andy like a father.
That's freaky, man. Woody is Andy's dad. I kind of like
I
that.
need to down several chill pills with a gallon
I
of
like
chamomile.
the inclusion of Soul now. I feel like it does recontextualize, even some of the stuff back in that Emma Jean theory, where like I don't think if I remember correctly, there wasn't really a clear, at least for me, from like my memory, I don't think there was like a clear answer to Andy's dad. I do prefer this version though of like Woody. If you want to tie in Soul in Toy Story, I do kind of like that more.
Somebody stop me before I...
It just makes sense to me.
Too late. I've read too many of your comments and ascended one too many layers for my own good. It does seem to be the case that, well, if varying levels of reality all coexist within a recursive stack, then why would our layer be exempt? Wait, what is B&L? The company that owns fictional Pixars and runs the world and has a monopoly on merch and the economy? This should sound strikingly familiar. B&L is Disney. B&L is Disney. Oh my This is how our world ties into the theory. This is how the story drags in our layer. The fictional premise is that B&L is based off of Disney itself. This is most certainly what they were going for when they created the idea of B&L in the first place. The freakiest part in all of this is that Disney's late acquisition of Blue Sky Studios would canonize my Katie theory by proxy, because if all the layers are involved in a nest of insignificant Easter eggs, then the multiversal goddess would technically be involved too. But obviously that's not intentional, that's just a fun byproduct of the insane fact that B&L is Disney. My main concern now is that Disney's in the housing market and people are already comparing them to B&L online.
New master plan communities will let Disney fans be a part of Disney all the time. So they're making houses? Like that's what he said, right?
Layers of reality are converging. Luckily,
That's interesting. I never heard about that before.
Baby Smitty with all of this. On the night of Boo's escape, she ambushes a sushi restaurant named Harryhausen's. The CDA bursts onto the scene with full force. In later interviews, a scare floor monster named Lanky Schmidt claims that Boo used laser eyes, and another monster says she shook him like a dog with her mind powers, which is confirmed by yet another monster. This is all very suspicious because the Incredibles and Monsters Inc. overlap like mad to the point where they even share similar logos, and this led to all of you commenting.
That's kind of curious too. Yeah, it does feel similar in style. And now that we have the Incredibles in the picture, like I guess what those people on the news, those monsters on the news, have been saying about the whole laser eyes and all the other stuff, it doesn't seem far fetched now. It's just we haven't seen it on the screen, but we can see it potentially happening. Yeah, I like this theory so far.
About the very
It's pretty
viral
good.
theory which identifies the possibility that Jack Jack is the real culprit. How is this possible? Well, Jack Jack has all of
Yeah,
those
he has laser
abilities
eyes.
and power to overlap.
That's what I thought of,
dimensions.
like when they said she had laser eyes. Like yeah, Jack Jack. Like I know I've seen it before. I forgot exactly where, but yeah, it was from him.
How bizarre. Why is this making so much sense? The strangest part, though, is that
Oh, all right, let's continue this most believable Pixar theory ever posted, which I'm starting to really believe in now.
it occurs at such a coincidental moment right amidst Boo's chaos. So here's the kicker. Here's my theory. Here we go. Boo jumped up on the counter and screamed "Boo!" at all of the monsters in a sort of climactic moment of terror. Remember what I said about this restaurant being a nexus point? Nay, a weak spot between universes? Well, I believe this entire night of horrors was a controlled event by BNL from the other side. This restaurant is so literally fishy that I might be inclined to brand
Literally
it as
fishy.
the weakest spot, the center of the Monstropolis portal, the Bermuda Triangle. What is their logo?
A triangle.
The restaurant is named after a famous real-life animator, and it's because this whole situation is literally breaking down layers of reality and combining the Easter eggs from our layer. Still don't believe me? Well, guess what this restaurant is filled to the brim with? The Chinese food boxes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is insane. This is insane. So BNL is using children to minimize suspicions and keep them secure. Boo, Jack Jack, and someone else. Another baby, a changeling, to swap universes with physical conservation.
Baby Smitty?
Now, I didn't know who this was.
He said changeling.
And every single layer of reality broke, and I collapsed into a pit of my own broken existence. The bonus disc ends with a series of bloopers that are literally showing how the film itself was filmed and has actors acting the act.
Yeah,
The
I
trope
remember
stuff.
this,
Is not
the
what gets
bloopers.
me, though. What gets me is that it finishes with a literal stage play retelling the events of the film. And who plays Boo? It's none other than Baby Smitty.
Whoa.
Everything is collapsing. It's the way he stared down Lanky Schmidt himself that got me, so much so that I tweeted about it without fully understanding what I was talking about, but it's him. This is what the giraffe teaches us about swapping universes. Baby Smitty is a changeling with Jack Jack, and from that night forward, he's... Oh, is it possible that Baby Smitty has no older sibling, that this was Baby Smitty until the night of living hell? Perhaps, but that's not the point. Do you see what I'm really getting at? Whichever method, whatever happened, however it occurred, it did. BNL has been sending in decoy children to prep the universe for their takeover. Jack Jack's first big outpouring of power was during the short film Jack Jack Attack. Near the end of this, BNL inventor himself, Syndrome, arrives at the doorstep and makes a joke.
Then I would have been going around wearing a big BS, and you understand why I couldn't go
Whoa,
with that.
Baby
What an
Smitty?
absolute
BS.
coincidence. I'm not sure what this thing is. It likely came through at some point, somehow, but I don't believe this is a robot, at least not entirely. First of all, he has razor-sharp teeth. Slugs don't have teeth, not like this. Look at older Smitty. Those are teeth. They even make a point of how he can wear braces. These, on the other hand, are shards of bone. He slithers around like a leviathan and has a mouth like a lamprey. Off the top of my head, he shares a ton of characteristics with both leviathans and changelings from the show Supernatural, which is a weird coincidence. But all this time, my jokes were accurate. He supersedes gastropods. He is a virus, spreading BNL in the Atlantic hidden city. Baby Smitty is dumb, uneducated, and parrots Mike Wazowski around like he's learning. His eyes are black, dead, vacant sockets, which is absolutely nothing like older Smitty or the other version of this child that we see earlier near the apartment. This thing is a Smitty, but not. They chose him because of his proximity to Mike, Sully, and most importantly, Boo. I also believe Roz has ties back to this family. Why do I believe this? Because we've established that the slugs turn green, they get massive, and they might turn into old ladies who like administrative positions. She doesn't have the correct arm count, which leads me to believe she's only on one side of the family, but I do believe there's a slug conspiracy of sorts going on here in some form. Always watching. The film is quite upfront about it all. This is why Mike chose Baby Smitty to play Boo in the theatrical production. He sounds the same. He is a replacement, an imperfect one, and this brings me to my final conclusion and about what he's here to do. I believe B&L is already infiltrating Monstropolis. Not in the form of robots, that's just the equivalent of their reconnaissance drones. No, I think Baby Smitty is infectious. I believe B&L is replacing the citizenry one member at a time. At first I thought there's no way. But then I started getting advertisements for the new Monsters at Work TV show. I haven't seen the whole thing, but here's the confusing
I've watched the whole
I
thing.
think I'm right, and I think the evidence is overwhelming.
Like, I feel like the first season was pretty meh. The second one was a lot better with Monsters at Work. Like, there was a whole, like, I guess, normal storyline that I liked.
show, we meet Gary Gibbs and Rose. Gary Gibbs is like Mike Wazowski, but blue
Yeah.
and evil. Rose is
Yeah, this guy I wasn't really feeling for back in Monsters at Work. He's just pretty much blue Mike Wazowski that tries to be cool, but I wasn't really into it. But that's kind of crazy though, of him saying like how they're starting to be like, I guess, replaced in a way. I guess with these two, yeah.
like Roz, but she likes Gary Gibbs and is even less bubbly. These are cloned villains who showed up out of nowhere shortly after the events of the
Yeah,
film.
Rose.
Roz seems to be playing along. The bonus disc adds the CDA credits beneath Baby Smitty's preschool teacher, and all of them felt as though this meta stage play was worth their time. Cloning is occurring. However, I don't know what the consistency was to be able to prove this, but then I realized the truth. It's all in the sounds. When Roz slams the door on Mike's hands, he screams, "Yeah!" Later, Baby Smitty parrots, "I was housey," as if to repeat, mimic, clone it. Then, as if informed by Boo, he mysteriously stares at Mike's previously damaged hands before chomping on them as hard as he can. And what do we hear? Mike makes the exact same "yeah" scream once again. I have reason to believe that anyone who is bit by Baby Smitty is then cloned and prepped to be replaced. It makes sense
Dang.
why this has already happened to Mike and Baby Smitty's very own possible grandmother. It's in the bite, but as you should hear, it's also in the scream. It is a scream extraction. We've established that screams are funnels for the soul, and thus, Baby Smitty is cloning people. Gary Gibbs is literally named after Mary Gibbs, which is Boo's real name, and Boo's actress's name, and Baby Smitty was the actor for Boo in the stage play. All of the levels of reality are collapsing, and Mike should have taken the hint when his hands were damaged at the end for more reasons than just fixing that damn door. I hate Baby Smitty, the scourge of Monstropolis, the doom of monsters, B&L Leviathan.
Yeah, who knew this
is what
Baby Smitty would be like
is, because
so
this
important
is
for its small
Baby
role in the
Smitty.
film.
Let's be completely clear. The next step is to actually map this Matryoshka and see what B&L's working with. At hypothetical maximum, the infinite Mobius Matryoshka, also known as the nested realities, are 20-dimensional. What I mean is, it would be easier if each film had every other film within it. It would be a diagram that would basically be a circle containing 20 other circles for each sub-universe, which contain 20 more circles infinitely. However, it's clear to me that this is not the case. I need to sift out every plot hole, every detail, every short film, and share.
Yeah, there's a lot of like films
I
to
need to interrelate every Easter egg.
make a
and display
diagram
the
out of
omniversal
if you're gonna try to do this.
How does Disney tie in? How do bloopers tie in? The result will be me
Like, especially
having
if
to
they're
visualize
recursive.
20 dimensions in a single YouTube video and then proceed to somehow illustrate approximately 20 to the power of 20 diagrams, which would require 100 septillion pages.
Jeez.
I'll have to find a workaround because that's physically impossible. So this will be graduate thesis material and you better stay tuned.
Oh, and that was it. So yeah, that was pretty much it for that video. Yeah, I felt like with the style of this video, it definitely felt very different when it came to like the presentation. Like, I was waiting for that intro to say, "Hello, Theorizer," because he would always say like, "I'm the Theorizer," and then I would always say that, reply back saying hello. And then yeah, at the end, he doesn't have that outro anymore. But yeah, very believable in my opinion. I think the title does it very well. I'm not sure, compared to like some other Pixar theories, like like the actual original Pixar theory from like way back then, from like a decade ago, like around a decade ago. But like I think this is a very good one. I think out of all of like his crossover Pixar theories, like not the individual ones that only work in their own world, stuff like the Nest theory and also like the Imogene theory. I feel like this one was way better than those. I do think when it comes to his theories, I do think this is probably the most believable one in terms of like a crossover uh like theory. But yeah, very good, man. I love this video a lot. I think so far, I don't know. I think it is my favorite crossover Pixar theory of his. I don't know if it's better than like, for me, Syndrome is my favorite one. They're both kind of like equal, but I do like how this one feels a bit more ambitious, since it is a crossover Pixar theory. But yeah, there you have it, guys. Very good one. I can see why I got so many views. And now next time we got some shorter ones here, where it seems like we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before the finale here. I think what I'll do is just make, I guess we have like 6 over here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can divide those into 2 because I don't want to make the videos like, way too long to, um, you know, have. I think I'll divide them into 2 since there's like 6 overall. I can do 3 per video. And then on the third video after this one here, you can watch the finale where Pixar has only one villain, puppeteering all 27 movies, which, they look at that time jump though. 7 years ago. I guess there's a 1 year ago as well. But yeah, he's been like building this up for quite a while now. Like around a decade, pretty much. I guess even goes, what do you say, it goes even farther because of the first Pixar 3 playlist that we watched it. I forgot the exact years there, but I would imagine it'll be maybe around this range, maybe even, older. But yeah, very good, man. Very good with this theory. But yeah, we'll be watching, I guess, The Incredibles, Inside Out, and Inside Out again for the next video. I guess I need to watch Coco. I've never watched Coco before, because that might be coming up. But yeah, guys, then yeah, this will be the next 3 here for the second to last video. Anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and end here. I'm just like blabbering now. Yeah, very good video about a Theorizer. Once again, go check him out. And yeah, this one here was very, very good. I do like this one here a lot. Anyway, guys, that'll be for now. That's game.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good